To retrieve a bundle, I told you that you could go to the virtual path that you use to register a bundle, and then the runtime will respond with your bundled files, which means we could write a script or link tag by hand to inject the bundles into our page. For instance, I could say script source equals /bundles/js and get all of my JavaScript. But there's actually a better way to do this. The system.web.optimization namespace includes styles and scripts helpers that you can use to emit the proper tags for your bundles. These helpers make things very simple, and when I want to inject my CSS bundles, I can just say styles.render and pass in my virtual path. You can actually pass in multiple paths there. The runtime will take care of the rest and emit all the proper link and script tags. If I want a little more control over my tag, I can use the resolve bundle URL method to create the proper URL for me. And you might be wondering, if /bundles/CSS is the proper URL to reach a bundle, why do I need to generate the URL? And the answer to that question is that the optimization framework can put more information in the URL than is necessary to reach the bundle. This additional information is a magic query string value that will help avoid caching stale content if you ever change the contents of your bundle or change one of the files in the bundle. That query string value will change, and that will force the browser to fetch the latest version. We'll see that magic value when we start using these bundles. Our bundles are configured, we're ready to render, but first let's do a test. I'm going to take this URL, bundles/js, and just paste it into the browser to make sure everything is working, because this request, the /bundles/js, should retrieve my bundled JavaScript, and it looks like it does. This is looking like jQuery at the top, and if I go all to the way to the bottom, this looks like it could be Bootstrap. So I really think things are going to work for us. Let's put these bundles to work in our layout view. So we created one bundle that could package together both of these CSS files, and now I can render it with the styles helper, except the styles helper has to be in scope, and currently it is not because we created this from an empty project. So let me go into the web.config. Essentially what we need to do is take this namespace, system.web.optimization, and have it be in effect for Razor views if we want the nice syntax without specifying the full namespace. And the way to do that is to open the web.config that is in the views folder. This contains the Razor configuration section. This area right here is what controls the namespaces that are in effect when Razor is parsing and compiling the code inside of it. So I'm just going to say namespace equals system.web.optimization, and that should put that namespace in effect for us. The other way to do that would have been to add a using statement in the CS.html file itself, but I don't think that's really necessary. So let's say styles.render, and I want to render bundles, CSS. I also have a bundle for Modernizer, so let's render scripts for bundles/Modernizer. And I have a bundle for all of these JavaScript files down here, so I can say scripts.render bundles.js. And let me just do a quick build. And it looks like Visual Studio is still unhappy with these, but hopefully the IntelliSense will catch up, because I'm pretty sure we have everything in place where if I refresh this page, it should continue to work and we'll get all the right scripts and styles. And it looks like it did. Let's actually view the source to this. So in the source, notice that I have two link tags, one for bootstrap.css and one for styles.css. And you might be saying, but Scott, I thought the whole purpose of bundling and minification was to combine all those files together. And that's true. However, the bundling and minification infrastructure will do different things when you say styles.render or scripts.render, depending on the debug versus release setting for your application. So if I look inside of the web.config right now, compilation debug is set to true. And when debug is true, it's always going to emit separate link tags and separate script tags for everything you've bundled. That just makes things easier to debug because you actually have those separate scripts that you can look up with the developer tools in the browser and set breakpoints like you normally would. If I change compilation debug to false and save everything, let's come back and refresh the browser again. And let me view the source again. And now you can see everything has been bundled. We have a single link tag pointing to bundles/CSS. Here's the magic value that will help us bust the cache if we ever change something in that bundle. This value will change. This is the bundle for the single modernizer.js file, and this is the bundle that contains jQuery and everything else here at the bottom of the page. So we've gone from 2 link tags and about 7 individual script tags to 1 link tag and 2 script tags. Now there's another way to force the system.web.optimization stuff to emit things like this, and that is, even if your web.config, even if the debug is true inside of here, if in the bundle.config you say bundle table .enable optimizations equals true, that will always override the web.config setting, and it will emit single script tags, single link tags, everything will be bundled together. The other thing I want to point out about this is that in addition to bundling, the optimization framework has also done some minification. So let's take this URL and paste it into the browser and bring up that source. And the source that appears here is going to be a little bit different than the source that appears in the actual script file. The source in the script file has lots of comments, lots of white space, lots of large local variable names. The source here in the browser has been transformed through a minification process that tries to reduce the size of that download as much as possible. And it does that by stripping out comments, by stripping out unnecessary white space, by shortening local variable names so that the local variable names are as short as possible, and that has a tremendous impact on the total size of the download, believe it or not.